Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gascally Stamus from Gearworks.com and the E2KG Network podcasting channel on YouTube, as well as this channel, the Rounding Off Infinity Gaming channel on YouTube. This is year 4 of a 10-year mission on my part to seek out lots of games and experience the diversity of games that are available and being produced by the industry between the years of 2015 and 2025. Along the way, I make periodic pit stops to review hardware that is used for gaming, so gaming peripherals and gaming accessories, as well as studio equipment that could be useful to streamers. It's kind of my shtick. I've reviewed probably about 10 different, probably about 12 different video game capture cards, and tonight we have yet another coming into the mix. This is a recently released card by Hauppauge, the HD PVR 60 Pro model 1684. I've had it out of the box for about maybe a day or so, and it has actually already undergone some degree of initial testing. But normally I record my out of the box episode minutes after um, getting it unboxed. I didn't have a chance to do that last night because I immediately threw it into the next production setup because I was going to be doing a live stream, so I wanted to get started with it right away. Now I've got a brief period of time while those machines are in standby to go ahead and talk through the my initial feelings on the hardware. One of the things I'm looking up is I'm looking up to check the best approximation of this thing's release date because I always like to let you know how new a thing is. So this thing just hit the street on Amazon at the beginning of March. Right now, it goes for about $180 on Amazon, which is not a horrible price for a brand new capture device. Let's go ahead and talk through some of the basic tale of the tape. This capture deck is capable of 4K pass-through. I've not had a chance to verify that. Actually, one interesting note is the gaming setup that it was going to record for the initial round of testing utilizes had set up two Acer 4K monitors, of which I was doing the game capture across one. I could not get this output signal to sync with the that 4K monitor. Right now, actually, it's a 28-inch Acer 4K monitor. Right now, I'm ascribing that to the monitor. It's actually the second time that I've had that occur with a capture card. I can't tell if it's a matter of the display is looking for a specific frequency and it's some odd frequency, not a normal straight stick 59 or 60 hertz or something. But like I said, it's happened twice, and since and the second time it happened because I specifically wanted to test this card without shifting it to a different gaming PC. I actually took those 4K monitors away, which was a pain in the butt. I mean, took them and put them in the utility room. I didn't get rid of them, and swapped in two 27-inch curved displays that I had available. But right now, that 4K pass-through has not been verified. I will probably most likely go to verify that when I use this with a console setup. Uh, this does record and stream at 1080p. That has been verified. I actually did a live stream this morning using the game Overload on PC, and this recorded at 1080p 60 frames per second with nary a problem. The live stream was obviously at a bit rate of 9 megabits per second. I think my local recording was 19 megabits per second. Both the live stream archive version is available and visible. It is the most recent one. The replication anecdotes. I think episode 420 that's up and available. The local recording also turned out completely fine. The other thing that I had an opportunity to confirm during initial testing is that it is compatible with OBS. It also states that it's compatible with XSplit, which I don't use. I won't be testing it against XSplit. One of the cool things about this deck is that it has the capability of recording both connected to a PC and standalone. The other thing that I really like about this, I have a couple capture cards that do that, but one of the really nice things about this, I don't know if the Kai is going to focus in, is on the left there, you can see that it has a switch to switch from PC uh, recording to recording locally in the onboard SD card. which is other side right here. It's a full-size SD card, so that's pretty cool too. The gold standard for me for capture cards is the AverMedia Live Gamer Portable 2 Plus, which has a lot of flexibility and brings a lot of capability to the fight. It also records in standalone, but that standalone recording goes to a micro SD card, which not a big deal now, but at the time I had to go and get a 128 gigabyte high-speed card and make sure that it was high enough quality to work with it. This just uses a standard SD card slot. Um, It has an onboard audio mixer for in-game volume input and pass-through and chat input. Over here on the front panel, this is another feature that I like. And so you can take a cable and run it from your console controller into this port, and then connect your headset to this port. That gives you the audio input for both party chat and the in-game audio coming in here, being picked up and captured and recorded by the capture card, but it also then passes it through to you over the headset, and also takes as an input your chat, so that that also gets captured by the deck and passed through to the streaming PC. Now, in order to make these work, this is a slight nuance, but it's a huge pain in the butt if you don't understand it. What you need is these need to connect over a 4-pole, 3.5 millimeter cable. So if you don't have a 4-pole cable, one comes with it, so you have one to go from the controller to here. Uh, if your cable is short for your headset, you may need to get what I had to do, because the AverMedia Live Gamer Portable 2 Plus has this same exact setup. The cables that it came the one that it came with was too short. My headset cables in some cases are too short. I went and bought aftermarket female to male 3.5 millimeter 4-pole cables that are like 6-foot cables or something, so I can set them on the entertainment center, but then be able to sit back off of the TV with my headset while game playing if I'm going through this or something like it. Um, Now, the mixer controls I haven't had a chance to mess with yet. With the AverMedia Live Gamer Portable 2 Plus, it's actually a hardware button that with actuations on both the left and right side, so you can alter the balance in the audio mix between the in-game audio and your party chat, your voice over microphone input. This obviously doesn't have any hardware controls for that anywhere, and so one of my concerns, because I saw the same thing with the HD PVR rocket, um, those controls might be in Hauppauge capture, and so in order to set them, you may have to open that software application, mess with the audio mix, and then close it. Now, the way the HD PVR rocket works is once you do that, it does lock that setting in. Um, so so it retains it in memory. Now the Rocket has an onboard slider control for volume, but I think it's for the mic. If you want to make sure that the mic is loud enough, you have to go in and set that in Hauppauge's proprietary software application. So that's a bit of a pain. I suspect that's what you're going to have to do with this, since it has no onboard physical controls. Um, so my general impressions of the deck itself, I love the fact that it has so many controls and so many buttons on it. It has, like I said, it has that SD card slot, but it also has this capture button, so that if you want to get a screenshot or screen capture, you don't have to do that by wiring something up to your Elgato Stream Deck, or going over to the streaming PC OBS panel, or alt tabbing out to it if you're using OBS on the same PC as the one you're gaming on. So you could just do this here. Now, I don't know if in PC mode, if that button will then send the screen capture to the PC. I think it will. I think you can designate what folder that should go in, or if it always looks for an SD card to send that to. We already talked about the audio mixer inputs. I talked about the PC versus onboard card switch that's there. The other one, trying to make sure you guys can see it in the camera, but the Kaio is having problems focusing. The other one is actually an iOS on-off button. There it goes. And so I'm not entirely clear what the iOS functionality is. I suspect it's just a way to route iOS functionality into here um, and record locally. Uh, and maybe it will send it through to a PC also. I am not sure exactly what this iOS record on off button does, unless it's just a special mode that it goes into to be compatible with maybe the iOS's HDMI output, which would surprise me if that's not HDCP. So I don't know for certain if that's a button that essentially breaks HDCP. But if I figure it out, I will let you know. Um, And the last thing that I guess that I'll mention is so it's powered by it's a USB 3.0 device, and it's powered its connection here on board the deck is USB Type C. It does not come with it comes with a cable, but it's not braided. That's a minor thing with capture cards, not something I'm as wrapped around the axle about. If you listen to my Logitech G432 7.1 surround sound headset that I just put up, I was bothered by the fact that that thing has a rubber cable and not a braided cable. It's not as big a deal with these because they're not attached to you. You're not moving around. This thing isn't moving around. You put it down and attach it once. Still, it would be nicer to have a higher quality cable, but uh, that's a relatively minor point. So I should also mention it also has a push to record actuation button here on the top for when you are running in standalone mode. Now, with the AverMedia devices, when you have a capture card that has a capture record button or whatever here on the top, those will sometimes also function in um, PC mode. So if you're running the proprietary application and you hit that button, it will actually start recording. I don't know if there's a way to hook it so it would start live streaming. Again, I use OBS, so I would never use that anyway. But if you're going to use the actual Hauppauge capture application, that might be an additional option. So that if you do use a two PC setup or a streaming PC and a console where you have a separate PC to handle the live stream, that functionality uh, basically would be kind of mimicking the same thing that you can do with an Elgato Stream Deck, where I can kick off my live stream or recording directly from my Stream Deck, which I can put 6 feet or more away from the streaming PC. So those are my initial hardware impressions. I'm actually pretty satisfied with this piece of hardware in comparison to previous Hauppauge game capture devices, which I was not impressed by their design or their size. Their previous line before the HD PVR Rocket were fairly bulky and would take up a lot of room on an entertainment center or a TV table or a computer desk. Um, I've also had concerns about the functionality of this Hauppauge card because the its predecessor, the HD 60 or HD PVR 60, didn't have the Pro at the end of it. When I got it, I actually could just never get it to work. And then the PVR Rocket has frequently been very naggy in terms of like you use it one time and it's fine, but then turn around and try and use it again, and there's been some software and firmware update for the thing, and then it's very finicky about working with OBS and other items. So I haven't used the PVR Rocket in a while. It's on my list to eventually configure in one of the streaming setups and try out, but I like it when it works, but it frequently is not available because of some driver update that doesn't take right or presents some wonky behavior. So, but like I said, this one I've already plugged into place as part of a streaming studio kit, and it worked just fine. I'm gonna go plug it back in and see how it does tonight. So other than that, that's going to do it for me with my initial hardware impressions of the Hauppauge HD PVR 60 Pro. I don't know why. It may be the HD PVR. I'm pretty sure it's the HD PVR 60 Pro. I don't know why their own uh, marketing badge says HD PVR Pro 60. Maybe that's what it actually is, and Amazon and everybody else has it wrong. Um, but that's going to do it for my initial hardware impressions. Pretty impressed by this in my initial round of testing, and with its overall configuration and design aesthetic. I like the flat black, um, the Hauppauge branding. You know, in the right place, but not overly obnoxious. And I love the fact that it has an onboard audio mixer, which is one of my kind of requirements for me to declare a capture card like one of the best capture cards available, and the fact that it has these hardware switches to set it in the specific mode without having to go back and dork around with OBS. So, like I said, that's going to do it for me. Until next time, happy hunting, stay safe out there, play the games that you like, stream the games that you love. Once again, my name has been Agasically Stamus from the Rounding Off Infinity YouTube gaming channel. Uh, We'll be back with more hardware reviews. Obviously, next up will probably be the Oculus Rift S. I've done the out of the box episode, but I need to actually get some time to test it, which I probably won't get to around to do even start doing until next week. Just so you understand, in case you've never watched a review of or an out of the box, so I do the out of the box thing first. Then will come with a capture card. Will come basically a mid course hardware review and score, but then it will go into long-term testing, and probably over the course of several months to a year, I will periodically do updates for how this thing is behaving and how well it's doing. Unfortunately, with capture cards, you don't really know what you've got until you've used it for a significant amount of time. Um, but I'll keep you informed along the way, and at least I'll give you two more, this milestone and one other milestone for you to perhaps make your purchasing decision off of that. Just know that if you surface something, 6 months from now that I didn't get to first, then there's nothing I can do about that. But this will go into long-term testing, so if people want to buy it after it's been out on the market a while, that information will be here on Rounding Off Infinity. That's going to do it for me. Good night, good luck, and good gaming. That's it for me. I am out.